The little skit that we're about to do is called The Letter. And it's about the letter that Pilate's wife actually sent to him to try to stop the crucifixion. So the children have been practicing really, really hard. Bear with them, okay? And I'm sure they'll do a wonderful job. We are about to begin. Jesus was praying in the Garden of Gethsemane when he was betrayed by Judas and arrested. Jesus then was brought before the religious leaders for blasphemy. The religious leaders then turned him over to Pilate. Pilate turned around and sent him to Herod. But Herod sent him back to Pilate, for no one could find any fault in Jesus, for he was without sin, and he was an innocent man. Now just before Jesus was to stand trial before Pilate, for the last time, Pilate's wife sent to him a message. Pilate's wife said to her servant, "I have been troubled much in a dream."
I have been troubled much in a dream.
"And I've been shown that Jesus is innocent."
And I have been shown that Jesus is innocent.
"He is innocent, this man so blamed. For they know not the power in which he came, nor know they the grace within his name. They will crucify him, and it shall be their shame. In this dream I suffered many things. I will write this message to my King. Throughout the darkness of that night, save Jesus was my only light. Have thou nothing to do with this just man, for of him you shall wash your hands. The prophets of old spoke God's will, and what they spoke shall be fulfilled. Yet I will write this letter still, though no power I write can overpower God's will. I write and send this message still." Pilate's wife then gave the letter to her servant. Her servant takes the letter to Pilate and says, "This message is from your wife."
This message is from your wife.
She says it is of great importance.
She says it is of great importance.
Pilate then reads the message. "Have nothing to do with this just man."
Have nothing to do with this just man.
He rolls the message up and he throws it down. Then the Roman soldiers bring Jesus to Pilate. Then says Pilate to Jesus, "Are you the king of the Jews?"
Are you the king of the Jews?
Jesus then replies, "You say that I am."
You say that I am.
After that, Pilate questioned Jesus many times. He stood up and he put him in front of his own people and he said, "Do you want me to release this king of the Jews to you?
Do you want me to release this king of the Jews to you?
Or do I release Barabbas?"
Or do you I release Barabbas?
Then said the people, "Give us Barabbas." Then said Pilate, "What shall I do with Jesus?"
What shall I do with Jesus?
Then they cried, "Crucify him." And Pilate went and sat back down. Now Pilate knew what his wife wrote was true, and he knew in himself that Jesus was an innocent man. But he also knew that the people would be stirring up problems for him. So he gave way to the people's contempt. Pilate then turned to the servant who gave him a basin, and Pilate washed his hands. The washing of his hands symbolized that he was innocent of anything to do with Jesus. Then the soldiers took Jesus to a hall. There, the soldiers took off his robe. when they had taken off his robe, they put a purple robe upon him. After they put the purple robe on Jesus, they then planted a crown of thorns which they had made upon his head. And they took a reed and they placed it in his hand. And they mocked him, saying, "Look at this king."
Look at this king. Look at this king.
Hail the King of the Jews.
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 Then they took off the purple robe they put his own robe back on him. All the time while they were doing this, Jesus just stood. He knew what was going to happen, but he had no fear. Then they took a wooden cross and they gave him to carry it. And above the wooden cross, in 3 languages, Latin and Greek and Hebrew, it was written, King of the Jews. Then Jesus was led away to carry his cross for us. Now all this was spoken a long time ago. He was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. And with his stripes we are healed. Not we will be healed, or not we can be healed. We are healed. Jesus Christ died for us while we were yet sinners. He was the only Son of God. He never sinned. He is not on the cross. He is not in the grave. He is in heaven. And he's coming again. Thanks be to God for giving us the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you so much.